Coach Natasha brought in a little special surprise on this Friday for the VPN team. Valerie Hunt is here. She drove down from Dallas, Texas area, and she's working with us, the entire VPN team, to improve our running form. So a lot of us run here. We're either training for full marathons, half marathons, 5Ks. So it's just one of those things that when you join the VPN team, you naturally start running a little bit. So today she's going to work some mechanics, some drills to improve our run overall as a whole team, to make training and racing a whole lot easier and a whole lot better.
Knowing all of you are into running or want to become better runners, a lot of you are preparing for the marathon, half marathon, I thought the coolest thing to do to help with form was to bring Valerie in from the day. She came all the way from Dallas to help you guys, and so we appreciate your time coming here today, and I'm excited because she's helped me so much. She's going to help you guys a ton.
I'm going to film you, and I don't want you to sprint or anything. I'm just going to have you guys run back and forth a few times. I'll film you. We'll go over it, and this is the best part. It takes you about 5 minutes to understand it, the concept. And that's what I said. And then I'm going to take you through a few drills, which are fun, and we can do partners and bands, and you've probably seen some of that. Just to sense and feel, and then you have something to practice when you go run. And then of course you have me. You can always check in, and then or even film yourselves or each other, and then know what it is you're looking for.
One of the main questions I always get on like Instagram, on YouTube is, why am I getting shin splints, and how do I avoid shin splints?
Right.
Like, what is the best? Is that because of form?
Yes. And you'll see in just a second. The reason they get a shin splint, well, there's two reasons. One is they're reaching their foot instead of just letting it drop, which we'll talk about today. And the second is they're not using elasticity of their muscle. And that is a huge one for all of us, because we're endurance athletes. So you're like, I run all the time, I swim all the time, whatever it is you do all the time. 99% of runners are using what's called active muscle contraction. So they're like they're putting their foot down, and that's 3 times your body weight. Unfortunately, we think that that's what extends our stride, right, to reach. So that's kind of mentally how we're all doing that. And then I should have said a third reason is ankle mobility or lack of. So the nice part is you can, a lot of people will say, well, I have shin splints, so I'm going to stretch. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, instead of stretching, work on hopping and elasticity.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. And I guess the second, most frequently asked question or comment I get is about heel strike. I was talking to Natasha about this today. Is heel strike actually an issue?
No.
And so, can you explain why heel strike is an issue and what people should be focused on instead of heel strike?
Correct. It's a great question. And really, even the word strike, if we think about foot strike, then that's what we're going to do. We're going to strike the ground. So when people say things like, I'm going to hit the pavement, I'm going to pound the pavement, hit the ground. If I'm thinking about where to put the foot, then whether it's a heel strike, midfoot strike, toe reach, whatever it is, it's ahead of you. And anytime you're reaching and it's ahead of you, then that is a deliberate active landing. So it's not that heel strike itself is a bad thing. It's that it's not going to help you with your running. So then why think about it?
Okay.
And then once you switch to doing the correct action, then you will literally not strike anymore. When you think about running, what do you think of?
Not running out of breath.
Okay.
Just try to stay linear.
Okay.
Soft feet.
Only recently after working with Natasha, I think, pulling my hamstring. So I try to engage my hamstring
Okay.
rather than push my quad.
Right. So I'm going to switch how you think about your run, because now you're going to think about running a little bit different. So the definition of running is free falling. So running itself is free falling. Free falling is rarely done in running, but that letting go aspect in the run is where you find your speed. Most people have no idea the potential they have because they've never actually let themselves feel it. I'm a great example. I am not an athlete. I love to coach, but I spent a year racing, and I was an 8:30 runner, 5K to marathon, same pace. So I started falling, and I went from an 8:30 to a 6:30 with no change in VO2 or conditioning, simply not wasting time, as he says, on the ground. we're going to spend more time traveling, less time on the ground. One of the things that does that for us is going to be how quick we can pull, right? So we're going to work on just getting in our running pose, the fall and the pull, and then elasticity hop. So it's just going to be a very simple practice, but you will feel a little bit goofy. So I'll give you that. So I'm going to be his partner for just a second. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to stand here, and I'm going to put my hand right here. Okay. He's not allowed to put weight on my hand, but he has to trust me that as soon as he pulls this foot up, I'll let this one go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, pull. Without putting any weight on me. Ready? Pull. Ready? Pull. Pull. Don't put any weight on me. Ready? Pull. Pull. So no weight. Pull. So weight means that he would be pressing on my hand. Does that make sense? Okay. So do that with your partner. Just do like 4 or 5.
Well, that is.
Pull. You're putting all the way.
This is hard. Am I really?
Okay, see where it is?
Yeah, it should be on.
Exactly.
Ready? Pull. Yes. Pull.
Solid stuff. Solid stuff, baby.
So then the next step is to feel the fall with it, okay? So we'll do the same thing. Well, first we'll keep it simple. You could actually use the rig if you want, and just go by, just grab one of these posts. So leave your arm out and try to look ahead instead of down. Remember, when you're running, you're gonna have to find your fall point with your eyes, but you're feeling it with your center. So now, so here's 2 things. Travel actually happens only when both feet are off the ground. Traveling itself, the travel flight phase of running. And so to initiate movement, we have to fall. So fall is the acceleration. So it goes acceleration, travel, right? It's hard to stay in place. So then we'll work on cadence next. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab him. Here's your gas pedal. I'm gonna put my hands here. He's gonna fall, so look ahead. No, clear, so he's gonna come at you.
And do I go both feet and fall?
Bend your knees. Now just let your body go forward into my hands. All you got, bend your knees. Okay, keep going. I got you. Keep going. Okay.
I'm looking down.
I got you. Yeah. Fall. Okay, now start to pull your feet. Yeah. Up, 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 up. Like repeatedly, like you're gonna run.
Oh, gotcha.
Ready? Up, up, up. So a little quicker. Yeah.
Now let me go.
Not yet. Not yet. All right, now let's go together. Ready?
Yep.
Start to press into my hands.
Oh, I'm ready.
So you don't want to hit hinge, right? No. You want everything.
So this is pretty cool. You have it's called an S-like shape because I'm not a straight line, right? But we're falling as a straight line. It's like being in a plank, right? So if I was in a plank right now, who would call me out?
Everyone.
I hope so. Or, you know what I mean? So how would you correct me?
Engage the glutes.
Yeah, I mean, give me some kind of cue, something that would help me feel that something's wrong here, right? So when you're running, it's the same. I'm doing a plank, right? I'm falling, but I'm connected. So when we're running, we're not doing like a crunch, but you're strong and you're using your center, and the strength is holding these shoulders over hips. So this kind of stuff is just hip stability. She's going to bend her knees a little bit more. There you go. And then just pinch it. And when she lets go, she's done this before. Instead of seeing, big bouncy thing, you can see movement go forward. I'm not going to hurt you, but just some people. I'm going to put my hands here, and he's going to press up into my hands. Press up, and then drop forward. Drop down, drop, just drop your hips down. Now press up into my hands. Or you can do harder than that. Press up. Ready, 3, 2 more. 1 more. Now pop up and run. What did you say?
I'll pull you.
And obviously, like she said, you won't be able to hold it for a long period of time in the beginning. the goal is to implement them and then like slowly.
Well, I've watched you run. I try to do things like that. I'm like, I can't hold this for more than like half a mile, and I'm already out of breath. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to go too fast.
It's got to instill. I mean, it's got muscle memory.
Like, don't drop the CEO.
Don't drop him. And then run.
Go this way.
See, it's really cool.
And what's going on, because all my races are getting canceled that I was signed up for because of COVID, understandably. We are creating our own marathon.
Nick, you still okay? Yep. Okay, good.
We're at Roca headquarters. We're in their gym.